everyone, and welcome back to the From the Sidelines podcast. I am your host, George Allen, and as usual, he's back. Mr. Scott Allen, how are you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm doing really, really well at the moment. Thank you for asking. We are on episode 17, and it's actually hard to believe that we've been able to do 17 of these. Scott, you might not have been here for all of them, but you've been here for the majority, so it's crazy to think we've done so many of these. But it's the end of the year, and 2020 obviously hasn't been an amazing year, but we've been given our football. We've had a lot of football recently, and it's time to do a halfway through this season review. And after that, we're going to do, me and Scott are going to choose a combined team of the year for the Premier League. So we'll start with our respected teams, Chelsea and Fulham. We'll start with Fulham because we normally start with Chelsea. How's your season going so far, Scott?
Well, we had a very tumultuous start, but I think in the last 7 to 8 games, we've shown some form and character that maybe proves we can survive in this league, but obviously we still need to pick up points, and we're still in the relegation zone at the moment, but we are looking like we maybe could stay up.
I have to agree. The form you're in at the moment is pretty good, pretty good for the Fulham side that we've seen at the start of this season, at the start of September. I think after that West Brom win, that sort of, you saw the football that your team can play, and I've got to say you do play some very good football. You went on to get 3 points against Leicester. You got a point against Liverpool. You've got points against Brighton, against Newcastle. So it's going up.
And a point against Southampton.
Yeah, there you go.
We've drawn our last 4 games. What we need to do now is we need to turn these draws into wins. We're supposed to play Tottenham today, but that's just been cancelled due to COVID. So it gives us a bit more of a rest, and we're 2 points behind Brighton with a game in hand. So if we win that, we've got a good chance to level them, to go above them.
Yeah, definitely. If I just bring up the league table here, the teams that you that you're fighting against at the moment. So you've got a game in hand over both West Brom and Brighton. I think it's fair to say, unless there's some sort of miracle, that Sheffield United, who have only got 2 points from 16 games, I don't think there's much of a way out for them.
No, I think Sheffield United are relegated, but I also believe West Brom are very close to that point. They're 3 points off us with a far worse goal difference. So we've got 14 goals on them. Yeah. That could be an extra 2 points.
It could. That could definitely be an extra 2 points. And now, for obviously, you've played Brighton, you've played West Brom, you've played Sheffield United. You're yet to play Burnley, am I right?
Burnley was supposed to be our next fixture after the Tottenham game, so who knows if that will even get played now.
Well, in the case that it does, it's pretty much a must-win, because Burnley have still got that game in hand. Now you've got a game in hand. You played...
us and Burnley are now level on games.
Yes. Which is...
And they're 5 points above us.
Yeah, which is good for you. Your last 5 games were a loss and 4 draws, as you mentioned before. Burnley are in a little bit of better form, but form, as we've said on here before.
I don't think we need to be watching Burnley.
No?
No, I think Burnley will pull themselves clear like they do every year. I think the teams we're fighting against will be Brighton, Newcastle will get pulled in, and Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Okay.
Crystal Palace haven't won a game in the last 5. They've got 3 draws and 2 losses.
Yeah, I see that here. So it's a case of 3 or 4 teams, as it is every year, or maybe sometimes even 5 teams that are going to get dragged into that relegation zone.
I'm not saying that they're going to get dragged into the zone, but they're definitely going to be dragged into the fight.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant.
They look devoid of footballing now. They just look terrible at the minute. Newcastle is boring, and I think they got a few early points in the season, but now it doesn't look like they're picking up many points.
Yeah, they got 10 points pretty quick in the first 7 games, I believe.
And now we're 14, and in the last 14, they've only managed to get another 7.
Yeah, which doesn't look good for Newcastle, you've got to say. So your next game against Burnley, I think
whether that will be played either. The game's been called off today.
Yeah.
We should have been scheduled to play Burnley probably Saturday. So that game might not even go ahead.
Yeah. So when you played Brighton, you played at Brighton, right?
No, we played at home.
Oh, you played at home. Okay. So obviously, when you next go to Brighton, whether things are still the same, the scenario is still the same, it is a must-win for both teams. When you next go to play West Brom, a must-win for both teams. And when you play Newcastle again, and when you eventually play Crystal Palace again.
Yeah, but Fulham have been very, very unlucky in the past 5 games as well. We go back to... So, Fulham have kept a clean sheet in our last 2 games.
Yes, you have.
No. Yeah, 2 0-0 draws at home, back to back. We had chances to win. I think we've been in every single game we've played, and we've had chances to win the game. The Liverpool game, we definitely had chances to win that game. I think we actually come away from the game disappointed, but we only got a point. The Newcastle game, it's not a penalty, so... And without the penalty, I can't see Newcastle scoring against us for the whole game because they struggled for 30 minutes to break us down with 10 men. And the Southampton game, we had chances to win the game, but we were very fortunate as well that they had 2 called for offside, which were offside. So it's tough. We've had a tough run, but we should have picked up more than a point per game.
Yeah. I remember watching the last 30 minutes of that Southampton game, and Areola pulled 2 or 3 blinding saves. It was proving...
Yeah, Southampton didn't really push for the game either. They had their 2 chances, but they were called offside. But both of them, rightly so, were called offside because they were both offside, which is a testament to the way we're running our line. But yeah, we didn't. It feels like we should have picked up at least a couple of wins in our last 4.
Fair enough. I mean, I can't say I'd say much different. One last thing I would like to ask you before we talk about Chelsea is, so we're around the halfway point of the season, not quite there yet, but we're getting there. How would you rate out of 10? So 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. Fulham season so far.
I'd say we're at a 5. It's been average, but also people were relegating Fulham 2 games into this season, and we've pulled ourselves away from the immediate relegation candidates because Sheffield United have taken that. They are the immediate relegation candidates. Got 2 points after 16 games, and it looks very bleak for them. Already they're 11 points away from safety.
Yeah, they haven't won a game.
It's Sheffield United don't need to worry about the two teams above them. They need to worry about the teams above us, and that's an even bigger gap. So
Indeed it is.
They're looking like they're gone.
So, in fact, before I start talking about Chelsea, West Brom obviously sacked Slaven Bilic and appointed Sam Allardyce. Do you think sacking Bilic was the right call?
After a 1-1 draw away
At Man City?
Manchester City, no way. They brought Big Sam in because he's never been relegated from the Premier League, but I think what they forget is Big Sam has taken over clubs that have a quality playing squad that he can use and utilise. He doesn't have that at West Brom. West Brom have struggled to score goals this season. They scored 11 goals this year.
Yeah.
In 16 games. Yeah, Fulham have only scored 13. But that's what, when you're at the bottom of the table, if you don't score goals, then you're not going to stay up. And they've been far worse defensively than Fulham have. Yeah,
they've conceded an extra 12 goals compared to what you guys have conceded.
So,
yeah, I just wanted to get your opinion on that. I do agree. West Brom haven't really got an amazing squad of players. They've got one or two good players, but that's about it, really. The rest are kind of average. But I'm going to start by talking about my team, Chelsea's halfway stage-ish point of the season. We've played 16 games. We've got 26 points. And I just want to say that the last 5 or 6 games have brought my rating out of 10 down about 3 scores.
So what are you, about 5?
So I'm going to say around the 5.5 so far.
So before the last 6 you had yourself at a 9?
I'll say at about an 8.
Okay.
Because we were doing really, really well, winning games quite comfortably as well. And then again, a game against Everton came along. We lost on a fair penalty decision. Couldn't really complain. And then we played Wolves. We lost the game in the 96th minute. And then we won another game against West Ham. And then the last 2 games, we've looked really, really shaky. Obviously, losing to Arsenal it's probably our lowest point of the season. Seeing how they're doing absolutely terrible at the moment. But in saying that, they're only 6 points behind us now, which is crazy to think about. And then we draw against a very good Aston Villa side at the moment. So I think form will pick back up.
You can't be happy with that result.
I'm not happy with it. We were 1-0 up. We were controlling the game. And then Christensen makes a mistake and El Ghazi scores. So that's the thing. I wanted a win from that. I wanted us to bounce back from that 3-1 loss and get a win, which would have put us right back into the hunt. But it's just not happening for us at the moment. Form, I'm hoping, will return very, very soon. But I heard something. Obviously, Manchester City's game got postponed yesterday against Everton. And we're supposed to be playing them next, which is 99% sure that's going to get postponed. And then in the Cup, in the FA Cup, we were supposed to be playing Morecambe. That's about a 99% chance of being called off. So our next game won't be until around January 15th, which is a good chunk of time for Lampard to think of what or plan what's going to happen, how he's going to plan our next couple of games, and also for time for the team to rest, as you said, for Fulham earlier. So I'm hoping that we take this time out to really, really get our heads in gear, make sure that when we return on the pitch, that we're right, we're there from the off, we're pressing, we're taking our chances, we're scoring goals. But what I would like is Timo Werner up front. I know you've stressed about it a lot before, and you're not even a Chelsea fan. So I got what I wanted with Werner being dropped against Villa, and it worked for the first 45. And then the second 45, we came out so slow.
Chelsea's problem at the moment is their inability to control the football. They just don't look like they're comfortable with the football at their feet, and I think that proves when the ball goes inside, then it goes outside, and there's just one long diagonal, and that's all that there is from Chelsea at the moment. It's one long diagonal, then whip the ball in the box, hopefully someone's in there. Chelsea don't try and wear teams down and run at defences anymore. It's just get the ball wide, get it into the middle, and I just don't think it's suiting to any of those players.
Indeed, I have to agree with you.
Chelsea also have got a really, really worry at the moment. There's 5 teams in the league from 5th to 9th that are all on 26 points. Chelsea have played the same amount of games as Southampton, and they've got 7 goals on them as well, which that means Southampton are okay at the moment for you guys. But Man City are on the same points with 2 games in hand and a better goal difference. Tottenham have got a game in hand and a better goal difference on the same points. Villa have got 2 games in hand, a better goal difference, and are already above you with 1 goal as you. They've got 1 less than you on goal difference. So Chelsea at the moment could find themselves in 8th place if all of those results go against them.
Yeah, it's like you said, the play that we used to play, just it almost feels like it just went out the window a few seasons ago. And we haven't seemed to. Last season we kind of adapted to it, but this season we don't look the same team as last year. We just don't look as energetic, as sharp, as fit as we were last season. And as you said, 5 teams all on 26 points, and we've out of them 5, 2 teams have played 16 games. 1 team have played 15, and 2 have played 14. We're one of the teams that have played 16.
And to get into the top 4, Chelsea need to get more points at the moment than Everton. Everton are 3 points above you with a game in hand. United are 4 points above you with a game in hand. Liverpool are 6 points above you with a game in hand. So, Chelsea need to seriously hope that their fortunes turn and some of those other teams hit a bit of a damp period, even though United at the moment are absolutely flying.
Yeah.
And they've come out of nowhere.
They have indeed. It's been a tough one. But like you said, we've got to hope that our fortunes turn. If you look at our form in the last 5 games, it looks kind of out of place with the rest of the teams above them and some below, with 3 losses, a draw and a win, whereas the ones above have got majority green and a few below have some green in them as well. So who knows what's going to happen.
So Wolves have won 3 of their last 5.
I don't think never mind, don't worry.
Leeds have picked up the same. Nope, they've picked up more points than you in this period. They've picked up 4.
Nope.
They've picked up 5. You picked up 4.
Yeah, there we go.
So even the teams below you are in better form than you at the moment, and that should be worrying, because if you hit a poor bit of form, yes, the teams above you should have should be in better form. But the teams below you, if they're in the same amount of form as you or in better form than you, that's when you should worry.
Yeah.
And at the moment,
I'm just hoping that this at the moment is sort of an early dip in form, whereas the other teams haven't had their dip in form yet. And I'm hoping that when the other teams do have their dip in form, we can counter on that and get the results that we need to. So.
But I think you look at this as well. Chelsea have only lost 4 games this season out of 16. So you've picked up points in 12 games out of 16, which it's not terrible. But I think it's about when you decide to decline. And the Christmas period is not a good time for you to hit bad form because the games come thick and fast, and that's when people pick up points quickly. And if you're not picking up the same points, you can get set adrift.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's sort of happening with us. And it is disappointing, but we've got to keep our heads high, keep our heads up, and hope for the best, I guess. So that concludes the Fulham and Chelsea season review. So far, the halfway-ish point of the season. Now we're going to decide a From the Sidelines podcast team of the year. So, Scott, I'll let you start. As you are a goalkeeper, who would you stick in goal? Emi Martinez. That's a very, very strong shout. He's been really good for Villa since signing for them, and towards the end of last season, when Bernd Leno got injured for Arsenal, he stepped up to the plate and was superb for them. So I'm actually not going to complain at that at all. I think we've got our keeper already. I like that. It was really quick. I was stick to what we choose. What have you thought about Emi Martinez? So
Emi Martinez has been, I think, the best goalkeeper in the league this year. Aston Villa are flying, and last season they were very leaky at the back, and I think that just proves if you've got a good keeper, it just calms everyone down. He's kept the most clean sheets in the league, and I think it would have been a tough decision for him to say. Obviously, he wasn't the chosen favoured at Arsenal, so he had to come out and go somewhere else, and he's gone to Villa, and he's taken his opportunity with 2 hands.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. He's doing absolutely marvellous at Aston Villa, and he did absolutely marvellous at the back end of last season for Arsenal. So I have no complaints with that whatsoever. We'll go. What formation? We'll go 4-4-2.
I don't know.
Let's go 4-3-3.
Okay, we'll go 4-3-3.
So we'll start at the right back slot. Have you got anyone you wanna put forward?
No one that stands out. Maybe Reguilon.
He's a left back.
Left back, sorry. Right back. No, Trent's been out. Carl Walker-Peters I want to put in there, actually. I want to put Carl Walker-Peters in there at right back.
Very, very good youngster, I have to say. Watched him against Fulham, he was good. Watched him against other teams, he was really good.
And it's a tough shot. I could have put Tarek Lamptey in there, but I think Tarek Lamptey's been very unlucky. He's clearly had a niggling injury for most of the season, and it's not got him playing as many games as he probably should have played. So, but Carl Walker-Peters on the right hand side for Southampton this season has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. No complaints. Obviously, the obvious choice would have been Trent Alexander-Arnold, but he has been out injured for a good chunk. We didn't see enough of Reece James Aaron Wan-Bissaka hasn't really been doing much. So why not put Kyle Walker-Peters in there? So we'll go left back this time. Obviously, you said Reguilon on before. I want to put forward a player who is currently a Chelsea player, but was really, really good for Leicester last season. Ben Chilwell. Who else is there?
No other left backs
So
screaming out to me. Aaron Cresswell's had a very, very good season so far for West Ham as well.
yeah, that's a good shout.
I believe. So he's another one.
One we've actually missed, who actually I don't think was part of the injured 10 or whatever they called it for Liverpool, is Andy Robertson. He's got quite a lot of assists and he's doing well defensively as well. But I like Reguilon. I think he's a really, really good player. I know he's only been in the league for half of the year, not only really 4 months of the year. Actually, that's a good point. He's only really been playing since September. So should we?
I'm happy to put Andy Robertson in there. You know, he's clearly he's had the most touches. You know, Luke Ayling as well has been very, very good on the left hand side for Leeds. But you know, Andy Robertson's had the most touches of any defender in the league this year. So we'll go with Andy Robertson.
Yep. I'm surprised you're putting a Leeds player forward, to be fair. So yeah, Andy Robertson at left back. Now the two centre backs. Who do I want to put forward? I want to put forward Fabinho.
Okay.
Who else? Who else has been good? I don't know. Van Dijk would be another obvious choice.
He's been injured for about 6 weeks.
Yeah. Who do you want to put forward?
I think centre half again. You go to Ezri Konsa at Villa has been very, very good this season. Yannick Vestergaard has been very good for Southampton as well. But I think Fabinho, because he's not a defender, I think he does deserve to go into the team of the year so far because he just doesn't look out of place there.
No, he doesn't. He's slotted in there like he's been there. He's played in that position for his entire career. And it's obviously, as a Chelsea fan, I don't really want Liverpool to do well. But as a fan of Fabinho's playing style and how, as a footballer, I like him. I enjoy watching his performances when he plays at centre-back. So we'll go with Fabinho at right centre-back. Who do we want to put at left?
The other one is a little bit tough, I think.
There is one man who was really good last season and has been good. I haven't seen much of him this season, but from what I've heard, when he's played, he's been doing really well. Is Connor Cody?
Yeah, Connor Cody is a good shout. I think Ogbonna as well for West Ham has been very, very good for them. But Vestergaard has been very good for Southampton as well, as I said. So, you know, it just depends.
So I think
I want to put Yannick Vestergaard in.
I think we'll go with Vestergaard because Southampton are higher in the league than Wolves.
You know, Vestergaard, they've kept 5 clean sheets this year. When he's played in 13 games, he's scored 3 goals as well.
One against Chelsea, I might have.
So, you know, because, yeah, I'm going to go Yannick Vestergaard.
Yeah, so that's the back four done. So we've got 3 midfielders and 3 forwards. We'll start with the midfielders.
Bruno has to go in there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't like Man United, but yes, he does have to go in there. Shall we put him in the centre, the left or the right?
He's got to go in the middle.
Yeah, agreed. So Bruno Fernandes in the middle of the midfield 3. On the left, there's a few names we could put in there. Obviously you've got what's his name at Spurs, Højbjerg, who's been doing decent for Spurs this season.
I think it's going to kill me to say, but I think you can't look past Jack Grealish going on the left.
Yeah,
of the midfield 3.
Definitely. I completely forgot about Grealish, if I'm honest.
Yeah, Jack Harrison as well for Leeds has been very good. So, but Kevin De Bruyne is pulling back some. James Rodriguez at the beginning of the season was superb. James Ward-Prowse has been fantastic for Southampton as well. So, Decore at Everton, Allen at Everton. There's so many players in that midfield role this year. As a Fulham fan, I'd put Anguissa in there because I think he's been integral to Fulham. Basuma at Brighton as well. But Jordan Henderson again could have a shout to go in there.
Yeah, there is a lot of
I'll
names.
let you choose the last one.
You'll let me choose the last one. So
I gave you plenty of options, so you can choose the last.
So far, we've got Fernandes and Grealish. I'm gonna go with James Ward-Prowse. He's been absolutely amazing so far for Southampton this season. He's in my fantasy team because he gets a lot of points with assists and goals. So James Ward-Prowse finishes the midfield 3. Now it comes to the front 3. We'll start with the left wing, then we'll go to the right wing.
I don't think this is hard. I really don't think this is hard. But it is hard because one person has to miss out between Kane and Vardy. No, Kane and Son. But
so left wing, we've got Mane and Son, who can both play there.
No, Mane, I don't think we can put Mane in there.
No?
I think Son goes on the left.
Okay. So
Salah goes on the right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And in the middle, you choose between Calvert-Lewin, Vardy or Kane.
I'm going to go with Vardy just purely because he got Golden Boot last season and he's 33 and he's still sticking the ball in the back of the net. So Jamie Vardy makes the team of the year. So if we go back over that, who did we put in goal? Emi Martinez, Kyle Walker-Peters, Fabinho, Vestergaard and Andy Robertson. Bruno Fernandes, Jack Grealish and James Ward-Prowse with Son, Vardy and Salah as the front 3. So that's going to be it. All we've got for this week's episode. Scott, great conversation once again. Thank you very much for being here.
You're welcome.
And thank you to everyone for following on Instagram. We are currently 3 followers away from the big 50. Doesn't sound like much, but to us it means the world if we were to reach 50 followers on there. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube channel. We're nearly on 25 subscribers now, which is good. And that's all from me. That's all from Scott. And we'll see you guys in the next one. See you later.